Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Avi and I read books. I'm again in a different setting. I know this setting is like worse than every other setting I had, I think, in the past couple of months. But the reason is my room is a mess and my books are packed up, so I cannot actually use any other spot. I have filmed last week a reading vlog, but I'm gonna upload it on Sundays. So next Sunday, and Sunday after this video, there will be a reading vlog where I actually just explain why I've been absent, but I will just do a really quick disclaimer over here. And the reason is the 1st of April, which is the day I'm planning on uploading this video, I am moving out. I'm going to live on my own in a really pretty apartment, and that's the reason why I've been absent. Mid-February I heard I was going to move out, and I tried to film some reading vlogs because I didn't really, my mind was racing and I wasn't reading that much, and I started filming reading vlogs but then ended up deleting most of them because they just weren't, like, sometimes I filmed an intro and I didn't vlog anything else and everything like that. So that's the reason why I've been absent. This is also a hobby and my mind was just more into binge watching Prime and streams series than filming and editing and reading. Now let's get on to my magical readathon. TBR. I got my iPad over here, which almost knocked me in the face, but, and on there I have my list. I wrote down what I'm planning on reading. One of the books I changed already, but little disclaimer, I'm also participating in the Realmathon. I will leave all the announcement videos and everything in the comments below. By Cassidy. I am in the Serene realm, which is from Maddie and someone else. I'm sorry, I am not prepared for that one. I haven't picked any books as like readathon, like a TBR for that one, because I'm just gonna look at the TBR for my magical readathon to see if I can increase or decrease my realm. What I'm also trying to get to is All Our Little Lies, which is the book club pick from the Books and Lala, literally that book club. I'm gonna try to read that one, but I don't own it yet, and it's not in my library and everything, so I'm not gonna put it high on my priority list. It's gonna be more if I finish all of the books that I'm currently going to talk about, then I will try to read it. But if I won't read it, I will just skip this month for the readathon. But that's that. Let's get on to my calling, because I have no clue how much I'm gonna be reading. I will probably be moving out in 1 or 2 days, so I want to settle everything, but I do feel like having my own household and cooking and cleaning for myself, because I do cook and clean while living at home once in a while, but I have the luxury that my mom does most of the time, everything, so especially the cleaning part. So I do feel like I can squeeze in more audiobooks too. But I have no idea. I kind of picked 2 callings, and I know you're supposed to pick 1, but I kind of picked 2, because one of the callings is like really easy for right now, but will be challenging or like a right amount of books in August for the 2nd equinox. And the other one is just challenging right now. It's going to be more challenging in August. So I'm going to start with the first one. If I manage to get that really quickly, I'm just going to try for the hardest one, and then in August I will just see how much time I've got and if I feel like challenging myself to the ultimate, or if I plan on just going into a regular challenge, because I am a person who loves participating in readathons and reading sprints and everything like that, but I also don't want to push myself too much or feel bad if I don't. But okay, so the calling I'm actually going for is the healer. But if I manage to finish that one, I'm gonna go all the way to the maximum I think that is in there for my, well, there are bigger I think, but I know I will not get that, and that is the Archmage. Archmage is the House of the Arcane exclusive calling you can get, and that's the reason why I picked it, because I'm a House of Arcane. So if you're perhaps also House of Arcane, let me know down in the comments below. But I'm talking way too much. Let's get on to the actual books. Like I said, all of my books are packed up, so I'm just gonna tell them. Some of them I have physically, but I cannot hold them up because they're somewhere in a box, somewhere in this house. Like, I have boxes over there, I have boxes in a different room, I have boxes downstairs, I have boxes everywhere. Somewhere there are those books, but I will just pop up a picture of here, and if I plan on doing reading vlogs, you will see them physically in reading vlogs or in my wrap-ups. So for the healer, you need Alchemy, Elemental Studies, Inscription, and Restoration. And if I go for Archmage, you need Alchemy, Art of Illusion, Conjuration, Spells and Incantations, Artificery, Inscription, and that's that. So the minimum of the books that I will be reading is 4, maximum I will be reading 8 if I go for the Archmage. But let's get on to the books. I'm gonna read it, by the way, like this, and then I don't know descriptions. I like to go blind into books. Like, I read the description, put it on a wish list, buy it, and then I just go into blind, because that's the way I like reading. So if you want like thorough descriptions about what it is, I mostly can give you an age group and a genre. So for Alchemy, it's Potion of Infatuation, and that is a book featuring romance, and I got Honey and Issues Guide to Fake Dating. I did not write down the artist or like the author of it. Abida Jaigida. That is YA romance, contemporary romance, if I'm correctly. So that's a book featuring romance, obviously. Then the second prompt for healer is Elemental Studies, a basic of air dynamics, and that is a book under 100 pages. For this one, I picked Afgesloten, which is, I think, from Natasha Tardio, which is actually somewhat of a short story. It's like one of those novellas from a Dutch author you can get, and I can read them through a subscription service that I own, but that's that one. Then the third prompt for the healer is Inscription, which is Glyph in Strength. Intimidating read. This one is, well, I chose it as an intimidating read because, first of all, it's the third in a trilogy that I've been putting off for like almost 2 years now, I think. And second of all, it's a big book. And The Watch by Stephen King, which is the third book in the Bill Hodges trilogy. Like I said, I need to finish that trilogy. Like, I think that's the longest book on my physical TBR. Not the longest book. I think that's the book that is the longest on my physical TBR. And it's an adult thriller mystery type of book. And then the fourth one for the healer and the last prompt is Restoration, Cure Wounds, a book featuring healers. And for this one, I was pretty dumb because I wanted to read a River Enchanted, and my library had it, and I loaned it, and then I accidentally returned it, and now it's on hold for the next 40 days. So it's not available like in 30 days right now, so I'm not gonna read that one probably. So I decided to go for another one, and apparently I saw My Sister, the Serial Killer by Okinya Braithwaite. It's also about a healer, or has something to do with a healer. So that was one of the books that I'm interested in, and I thought, you know what, my library has it. I do want to read it because it is on my wish list, if I'm correctly. So I think that's YA mystery or thriller, or adult thriller. I'm not even sure about that. I recognized the cover, I knew I want to read it. I thought, you know what, let's read that. If I don't plan on reading that one in the end, I also have been thinking about Virgin River, like the audiobook version of it, because I can get that through a subscription service. And I have watched the TV show, so I know I probably won't physically read the books, but I know it's about a nurse, so it's also a healer. So I still have options for that. But those were the 4 prompts for the healers. So let's get on to the prompts that are for the Archmage in case I get to that. If I don't get to, like if I get to healer, I might just start reading the prompts for the Archmage, and if I don't finish the Archmage, I don't mind, because the healer was my original calling. Let's just say I want to accomplish the healer because I know it's something I can accomplish, and so I have something to go off on in August. But if I can push myself to get the Archmage, I would be so proud of myself. Let's just call it that way. So for Archmage, you also need Alchemy. Alchemy I already have for the healer prompt, so I don't need that one anymore. Same thing as Inscription, you also need that one for the healer, and Alchemy, and the Archmage. So, Art of Illusion is Mirror Image, a book with a trope you like. This one I picked from a Dutch author because, first of all, I know you fly through her books, and she's a really great author, and that is Melvana de Vries, which is a YA thriller author. And I picked the book Cancels with it, and that's because of the isolated, locked room type of murder mystery, or like mystery. I'm not sure if it's a murder mystery. I realized that I do like the locked room type of versions of like the isolated settings, and according to what I found on the internet and like on the back side of the book, it looked like it's going to be a somewhat isolated setting, so that's that. Then Conjuration, Conjuring of Light, Source of Light on the cover. Yeah, I picked Wondersmith, which is the second book in the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. Sometimes I fly through series, like I read a lot of series and I read a lot of standalones, and then my series are just like piling up, and this is one of those things. I did enjoy Nevermore. I read it like last June, and I just never picked up the second one. I own the second one, so that's the reason why I put it also on this list, because that's why I like readathon sometimes. To just pick books that you want to read, but there's so many books you want to read, to just make it a little bit more easy. Then Spells and Incantations is anti-gravity spell, short stories or essays. I have a short story bind up by a Dutch author. Which is called Labyrinth. But it's like 400 pages because it's a bind up of multiple short stories. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to read that one. It'll depend how my reading experiences are going, because otherwise I would pick one of those other novellas as a short story, because there are still a ton of those novellas that I was talking about, those Dutch novellas that I haven't read, so I'm pretty sure I can pick one of those too if I feel like not reading an entire bind up. Like this TBR is actually, I might read this but might not too. Then for Artificery is Schematic Literacy, and that is an Earth setting, and for Earth setting I can actually pick any book that I want. For that, I picked a Karen Rose book that I'm gonna listen to as audio, but I realized I put it like the Dutch title on it, so I'm just gonna go look for the English title for a second, which is Have You Seen Her by Karen Rose. So that's gonna be an audiobook I'm gonna be listening to. I might finish that, might not. I think it's a 20-hour audiobook, and I mostly read between 1.5 and 2 speed, depending on the narrator and what I'm doing. But I might finish that one. Like I said, I might not. If I finish that one, I just pick a different audiobook. Might see if it fits any of the prompts, or if any of the audiobooks I got are going to fit that one. I do like Karen Rose, but I realized I like her more as an audiobook than physically reading, because I lately started reading one of her books physically and I switched up to the audiobook because I felt like I was going to DNF it physically, because it was interesting but like not enough to keep my attention to it, and through audio I could get my attention to it and I could finish it. So I decided to try this one straight away in audio form, because I have it in an ebook form too. Actually, the second time I'm filming this video, because I filmed this like 2 days ago, and then I realized it was a terrible setting and I just didn't like the outcome of that video, so I refilmed it a little bit like more relaxed. Like it's still unsure if this actually is going to be my TBR. That's what I picked right now, and that's probably what I will read, but there's like a lot of space to like shuffle books. So that's that. If you like this, if you're also participating in the Magical Readathon, leave down in the comments below which calling you're following or which guild you're in. I'm really curious about that. Also, if you're participating in a Realmathon, let me know in which like realm you are. Pretty sure if I look for it, I can find a readathon every month, but I think that's gonna be a little bit too much for me, I think. In the end, I hope you liked this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!